Interesting facts about famous people.
Ten of Hollywood's most mysterious deaths. Every day, there are many mysterious cases involving the murder or disappearance of people all over the world. Hollywood is not immune to this. These cases seem to attract a certain fascination from the public. Some are resolved, but most are still open cases. Today we will take a look at 10 of these cases. Sit back and let's see what we can find out. Bob Crane, found bludgeoned to death in a Scottsdale, Arizona apartment on June 29, 1978. The Hogan's Heroes star. The murder was examined in director Paul Schrader's 2002 film Autofocus and A&E's Cold Case Files. The case was reopened in 1990 and led to John Henry Carpenter, a friend of Crane's, being tried for the crime. Carpenter was acquitted in 1994. David Carradine, the Kung Fu and Kill Bill star, was found dead in a hotel room closet in Bangkok with a noose around his neck on June 4, 2009. His family funded a private autopsy. The conclusion was that Carradine died from asphyxiation, and the way the actor's body was bound ruled out suicide. Police said that Carradine's body was found in a sitting position, with a rope wrapped around his neck and attached to a closet bar, when a maid found him. Elizabeth Short, a 22-year-old aspiring actress, gruesomely murdered in Los Angeles. Short found fame posthumously as her story was sensationalized by the media. She was dubbed the Black Dahlia. The case was never solved. The Black Dahlia, a neo-noir novel by James Ellroy, published in 1987 and was made into a movie in 2006, directed by Brian De Palma. George Reeves, the Adventures of Superman star, at 45, found dead lying naked on his bed with a gunshot wound to the temple in 1959 at his Beverly Hills home. Though the death, the subject of the movie Hollywoodland in 2006, ruled a suicide at the time. Unconvinced, his mother commissioned her own separate investigation. Suspicion arose that the actor's ex-lover, actress Toni Mannix, paid for the hit on Reeves. Jack Nance, a regular in David Lynch projects, Eraserhead, Blue Velvet and Twin Peaks. Jack was found dead on December 30, 1996. The cause of death was a subdural hematoma caused by blunt force trauma. It is believed he was punched in the head and knocked to the ground during a fight with two men at a local donut shop. Another theory is that he fell while in a drunken stupor, as his blood level was 0.24% at the time of his death. JonBenet Ramsey, a beauty pageant child contestant who was murdered in her Colorado home. A strange tale unraveled. Ramsey's parents said that they had received a ransom note just hours before her body was found, demanding $118,000 for their daughter's return. Suspicion fell to JonBenet's parents, insisting they were innocent. Publishing a book in 2000, The Death of Innocence, Ramsey's mother died just before John Mark Carr admitted that he killed Ramsey. Later released. However, when DNA tests showed that he could not have been at the crime scene, prosecutors cleared the parents, as DNA pointed to an unknown third party. Marilyn Monroe. Monroe's sudden death was officially ruled a suicide in 1962, after she slipped into a coma after overdosing on sleeping pills. However, there's always been some speculation about the circumstances of her death, like many items allegedly being removed from her home. Theories include murder by the mafia, in relationship to President John F. Kennedy and his brother Robert, whom she was reportedly having affairs with. They also have been discussed as possible orchestrators of the murder, as well as an accidental overdose. Natalie Wood, boating off Santa Catalina Island in 1981 with her then husband, Robert Wagner, and Christopher Walken. Walken and Wagner got into an argument. Woods retired to bed. Later, when Wagner went to say goodnight, Wood was missing. Her death was ruled as an accidental drowning at the time. However, many questions were raised about what actually happened on the boat. Surprisingly, in November 2011, the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department reopened its case in the death of the actress almost exactly 30 years after her death. Nicole Brown Simpson, the boyfriend, Ron Goldman, were stabbed to death outside Simpson's Brentwood, Californian home in 1994. Ex-husband, O.J. Simpson, was put on trial for the murders after blood-stained gloves, fibers from Goldman's clothing were found in Simpson's home, and hair bearing similar qualities to Simpson's was found at the crime scene, along with bloody footprints matching his shoe size. On October 3, 1995, Simpson was acquitted of both counts of murder. William Desmond Taylor, actor turned director, after abandoning his wife and family in New York in 1908, changed his name from Peter Tanner to William Desmond Taylor, resurfacing years later in Hollywood. Between 1914 and 1922, he had directed over 60 films and shorts, and once was president of the Motion Picture Directors Association. In 1922, he was found dead, shot in the back in his Hollywood home. Witnesses came forward stating they'd seen a young, dark-haired man leaving Taylor's house. No one was ever arrested. One theory was raised involving Taylor reporting actress Mabel Normand's cocaine dealer to the federal government, and the death being a possible drug-related hit.